So what we're going to do is make progress on your fiction websites. At this point, you should have the cover and the synopsis right there. As we see, we are closing in on 16 days until the final draft. So we really don't have time to wait around for you to come up with something. So hopefully last week you finished the plot page. If not, I will walk you through it anyway, just in case. So when I click on plot, at this point it's blank, like some of yours might still be blank. Now, if I want to know what to do here, you always want to look at the model website. So if I go to the main tutorial website here on the course webpage, the first thing on there says model website. And you click on that link, and it'll take you to Alex Trebek's completed project. So this is a good reference for you, so you know kind of what I'm asking you to do. So if you click on his plot page, he's got all 12 steps of the hero's journey, and that's what you should have on yours. So you might want to just try to copy and paste this entire thing onto your web page, but it'll end up kind of being a big mess. So you really want to make it from scratch. Plus, you're learning how to do things on the web anyway. So to do that, you got to make sure you're signed in, of course. Once you're signed in, click on Edit Page. And you go to Table. And right here, you can adjust how big or how small you want the table. So I want to go 12 rows down and 2 across. And there's my table right there. Now, to adjust the columns, just click on any box in there. And when you grab these little handles there, it adjusts the entire column at the same time. Okay? And so I'm going to give a little bit of leeway over here. But I'll probably give most of it on this side because this is where you'll be describing your story. So something to that effect. Save. And as you see, my table is completed. Now all I got to do now is add in the text. Now there's a couple ways to do this. The simplest way, although it takes more time, is to go ahead and type in your content. So 1 would be ordinary world, and then I would type in whatever is going on in my story. Now you might be tempted to try to just copy and paste over from Alex Trebek's site, but sometimes when you do that, you run into several different problems. So I'm going to Control-C copy, Control-V to paste, and look it ended up in the wrong square, and it kept all the formatting from his website with a black background and white text. Sometimes that's a very useful feature, but in this case, that's not really helping me. In fact, you'll probably end up more frustrated than anything. So the best thing to do there is just Control-Z or undo and just type it in. I'd say that's your best bet. Okay? If you have trouble with spelling and grammar, maybe type it into Word and then paste the text in that way, because Word has automatic spell checks and things like that. If you need that extra help, that's fine. But anyway, once you get all that done, you should have all 12 steps of the journey and your story onto the plot page. Okay, so everyone should technically be at this point right now. Let's talk about characters and then hero and shadow pages. They're all set up a little differently, so you can learn how to build your own websites. That's part of the reason. So let's click on characters. Okay, on Alex Trebek example, he has sort of a cover art, which is not necessary, but kind of looks cool. But the most important part is a list of all of his characters. Now, he has 3 allies. Remember, you can have a whole group of them. So he named them, Ally 3, 2, and 1. He has his Trickster, the Shadow, Shapeshifter, the Herald. In this case, it's an event, not a person. The sea turns red. Means this battle's about to happen. Yes. The Herald brings forth change, a messenger. It could be an event or a person. Okay, then there's threshold guardian and his mentor, and finally the hero. Now, the way these are laid out is there are a series of posts, which is the same thing as status update if you're using Facebook or whatever. It's all the same name, meaning I'm updating information constantly. So, in order to create that, I'm going to click on characters. And I want to set this up as an announcement page. Each of those posts is what we call an announcement. So this is very useful if you guys go to create your own websites and you have some kind of news that's happening and you want people to know about, or new things or new products that you're selling, whatever it is. So to do that, it's pretty simple. Click on More, and there's a whole list of options that I can do on this web page. I want to change the template right there. Now, when I click on that, I get a series of options. I drop down this menu, and I could change the template to a few different types. The default is always on web page. Web page is just like a blank canvas. I want some more help with this, so I want announcements. Now, file cabinet, you would use that if you have a page filled with files that you want your user to access. A list would be if you're maintaining some kind of inventory or roster. Like if you're a coach of a sports team, you could build a Google site and have a roster of everybody. That would probably be more useful. Or what's called a start page, which is kind of a fancy page with lots of gadgets and gizmos and things like weather feeds and video feeds. You know, that we're not getting into all that, but it's there in case you ever want to mess around with that. What we want is announcements. So click on announcements and then click change. Immediately, you guys can see some things have been added automatically. The first thing is this button that says new post. That wasn't there before. And now there's another thing called, it's called an RSS feed. And what it allows people to do is they can subscribe to your website. And anytime you add a new post, they'll get email notifications. So it's a great way if you're building a website and you start building kind of a fan base, you can keep them updated on things that are happening. Whether it's family, friends, customers, whatever you're doing. Okay, so that's done for you. It's so amazing. I mean, in the past you really had to know HTML code to be able to put all of these cool things like buttons and RSS feeds in there. Now it's all done behind the scenes. So what I want to do is create a new post. And just kind of like Facebook, it's a new status update, if you will. So I'm going to title it. I'm going to call it one of my characters. It doesn't matter who you want to do. We'll do the trickster. I'm going to add an image. Insert at the top. Image. I have the image already saved on my computer. Let me see if I can find a trickster of some sort on here. I might have a pirate picture. These are all different heroes I have in here. Oh, I have a pirate one?
Yeah, there's a picture right there.
Oh, here it is. Got it. Okay, so got to wait for it to upload. It's kind of a big photo, so it takes a few seconds. There it is right there. Hit OK. Now, it's huge, right? I mean, way too big for my website. So I want to do a couple things. The first thing I want to do is resize it. So I'll just click on like S or M for small and medium. So we'll make it medium size. And then I want to remove this link that's been generated. Because if I remove the link, then that photo will just be part of the web page. It's not clickable. I don't want people clicking on that picture. I just want them to look at it. Now, that link is useful later for more advanced things. Like if you want to put a button on your web page that will take people to certain places, that's what that's for. Okay? I don't want any interactivity, so I'm just going to take out the link. Now, what I need to do now is add my description. Best thing is just to type it in or copy and paste from Word. Okay, so make sure you write your physical description, including, personality and the function in the story. You should have about 3 or 4 sentences for each character. That's what you guys have been doing on paper anyway. Click Save. And now my post with the image and text is completed. Now, to add another character, guess what I'm going to click on next? Exactly. Click on New Post, and we'll go through that process until I have at least 8 posts, 1 for each archetype. All right, everybody clear on that? Okay, so now let's talk about the hero and shadow pages. Let's go back to our model website so we know what we're doing. Click on Hero. And as you can see, there's a series of questions that you're required to answer. Now, you might say, I've already described my hero on the character page. Well, that's true. But the hero page is getting way more detail than you've probably gave on the character posts. Okay? It's like a survey. Because I want you to know your hero better than any character in your story. So, you got to answer all these questions. Now, the best thing to do here, the other thing is there's 2 columns. Do you see how there's 2 columns of text? Yeah. The reason why you want columns is because you don't want your readers having to scroll down forever. You guys know you surf the internet. Isn't it annoying when you got to scroll down, 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 down? It's nice to have all the information right there without having to scroll. So to do that, no, you won't use a table. Although you could use a table if you want to. That's fine. But what I'm asking you to do is go ahead and create 2 columns. So to do that, go to your hero page. The default is 1 column. I want 2. So click on Edit Page. And there's a Layout button. If you click on Layout, you get a whole lot of options of how you can really mess up your website, right? So we're going to keep it simple and click on 2 columns. Do you see? It's kind of hard to see with the projector, but do you see kind of 2 containers here?
Yeah.
All right. So that allows me to set up 2 separate items in those columns. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my image for my hero. Let's see. Let's pick a new image. I need someone who... Oh, this guy looks like a hero. It looks like... So we gotta wait for it to load here. Okay, wait for it. Might be really huge, so... I gotta adjust the size. Alright, so it's way too big for my web page. So maybe click medium. Take out the link. Okay. He looks like a hero. Okay. So then what I want to do is copy and paste from here. Now I'm going to show you a cool little trick. I'm going to Control C, Control V. Now, you notice it kept all that formatting. I don't want the black background or yellow, right? I don't want that. So what you do is highlight the whole thing, and there's this button you may not have ever noticed. It looks like a T. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
It's like a T with the X. It's called Remove Formatting. I click on that, and look, it keeps the text, but takes out all that extra stuff. So now I own the text, and I could do what I want with it. Okay? So you might have to make some adjustments here, with spacing and that sort of thing. Obviously, you're going to answer the questions for your hero, not Alex Trebek's hero. And if you want to do quick design changes, check this out. Click on the question, click on Format, and go to Heading. Do you see what it did? It automatically changed the color and added that cool blue line there automatically. So if you keep doing that for the questions, pretty soon your website starts to look somewhat professional. You guys see what I mean? Okay. It starts to look pretty good, and that's the power of Google Site templates, is being able to look pretty good and clean automatically. Now I'm going to click Save, and so I have the first column of the hero page completed. Now what about the second? You notice the second column is totally blank. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the same process. We're going to copy the second column, Control C, edit page, Control V. Now, you guys remember how to remove all that formatting again? TX. There it is. So now I got to go through my questions, change the format to heading for each one, and pretty soon, as long as I adjust the spacing and that sort of thing, my website starts to look pretty good. All right? Now, the shadow page is exactly the same format. It's just the opposite your hero, but you still want to do the 2 columns, copy and paste them in, that sort of thing. Okay? So in review, we did the plot, which was a 12 by 2 graph. And I told you guys just to type the stuff in. We did characters, and we basically changed the template to announcements, and we started adding posts. And then on the hero page, we changed the layout to 2 columns and copied and pasted things in there, clearing the formatting, and then redoing the formatting to fit our look and feel of our own website. Yes?
Is the website doing 16 days also? Like, because I'm not going to be able to finish the website and my story
Yeah.
and my other homework.
In fact, the plot and characters should be done by tomorrow. Those are done. Okay? Because you still have the writing to do and all the extra
What about
stuff.
social network?
We'll hit social network and storyboard next week. So really, guys, look, you're almost done. Social network, storyboard. Then you post your story and then put something about yourself, the author. And that's it. Your website's almost done. Okay? So, and then the reviews will come later. All right? Any questions on that? All right, I'm going to close out this recording.